Oh. I thought I did this. Hold on. This is unexpected. Oh boy. Oh no, that's interesting. All right. Oh wait, one more thing. What spells do I have here? No, this is the base game. I'm at the very end of the base game. I mean, this is playthrough number 9. I'm wearing DLC armor. No. They're all immune to rot. Wait a minute. Yeah, tree's burned. Am I crazy? It's not letting me in. Alright, hold on. Someone explain this to me. Once you've done the Elden Ring, Elden Lord thing, can you not walk back into the room? I thought there was a whatchamacallit in there? A grace. I have to go to another tower. I'm confused. Actually, before we do that, let me verify. I thought I finished it, and then I saw that wall, but then the wall may always be there. Yeah, begin Journey 9. I did finish it. Alright. Well... Hey, Elden.
I see.
I need fives. I need fives. I have so many of those axes now. Stones, duh. Sorry about that. Here's the part that hurts most people's feelings.
Now.
Administrator. Huh.
I see.
Well, thank you for the
You're
like.
here for some spirit tuning.
Um, what's PC spec? You mean what kind of PC do I have? Um, let's see. I will. Let me do this. Let me. Oh, actually. Oh, of course, has to update the app. I hope that answers your question. 9950 X3D, 120 gigs of RAM. Damn, I'm glad I bought that when I did. That same memory is like 5 times as expensive now. I looked up the similar memory right now, in the US at least. It's $1,500. It's 2 sticks of 64. Um, and a 5080. There's some performance stats. Oh, it's a 5080, not a 5090, but yeah, it's should be plenty smooth. Oh, you're welcome. See, for my use, I always build one that lasts. At least that's the intent. Um, this the PC that this one replaced was the only one that I replaced before about 8 to 12 years of use. Video cards I would replace, obviously, because games keep updating. but I designed the PC rigs themselves to be very powerful for both development and gaming, and the for memory transfer and all that. Because it's when people are designing their computers, they don't think about what are actually the more important issues. One is, how often do you want to buy a new computer? If you're willing to spend $2,000 on a new computer every 2 years, then you don't need to worry about anything. But if you want to try and keep your computer running for as long as possible, then your design needs to be future proof. And so I've only had, since over 20 years, I've had maybe 4 computers. And none of them have not been able to keep up with current games as long as I got newer graphics cards. And the reason is because I paid attention to what really matters. If your computer can't shuffle RAM around, it doesn't matter how fast your CPU is. It can't any significant amount of work that it has to do. So I had when I was working at Palm, when it was owned by Hewlett Packard, my desktop at work would take like, what was it, 8 hours at one point to build the Linux kernel from source, if I had to build all the objects. And my machine at home, which was like 4 years older, I could do it in 2 hours. Because I designed the system for that. And that's the key, again, unless you want to... You can do a great job of building a machine for, say, $1,500, well, not anymore, $2,000 minimum. But if you're going to have to replace the video card in a year, then the fact that you only spent $400 on the video card instead of $600 means that the new card that you get, which is another $400, is you've now spent $800 in 2 years on video cards. When you could have spent $600, it would have been just as good. RAM, after 3-4 years, RAM goes through a cycle where you can buy RAM, but it won't necessarily work in your machine because it'll fit, but it won't be the right speed, the right type. And in order to get DDR4 in a world that's all DDR5, hey Sykes, you may actually end up spending more because less companies are making it. And that goes on and on and on. And so, if I have to start replacing parts in this computer in 3 years, I may not be able to get a CPU. And if I can't get a CPU, then I have to get a new motherboard. And if I have to get a new motherboard, I probably have to get a new motherboard, new RAM, and new CPU. Well, that's your whole computer. It'll probably have M.4 or M.2. It'll probably have, everything else. I can put the video card and stuff in, but now I'm into it for $1,000. And all because I didn't design it with future-proofing in mind. You want to get a CPU that you don't have to replace because it's still competent at doing most everything. And CPUs aren't what games are bound by anyway. You could use a 10-year-old CPU on a modern game, as long as you have a GPU that can keep up. So, anyway, I had a 3090, and then the machine that I replaced that with was a... This is my second AMD. I've been buying all Intel when Intel was actually better. Intel CPUs are actually better for the money. And then I went from that 3090 to a... ninth gen. And then from there, I bought a AMD because they had become much better from a value perspective. And unfortunately, that machine I replaced after about 3 years with this one. This is the one that I have now. But I had that 3090 for like 10 years, I think, and then I replaced it with a machine that I had for about 10 years. Anyway. Alright, what was I gonna do? Oh.
Now.
I think I have... Sorry, this looks like it's going to be a little bit of a bookkeeping moment. Be nice if there was a way to put them all in, you know? I'm not qualified to answer that. This is the only Souls game I've played. If there are better Souls games, then I wouldn't be surprised. I would be delighted. Okay. Alright, let's start with... Oh, hold on. I suppose I didn't need to do some of that. Yeah, I do have the DLC. To be fair, the armor that I was wearing is from the DLC. But that's fair. Yeah, I was, I've done the DLC. What's the chest for? Literally what I'm using it for, or at least that's the way that I see it. If there are things that you want to keep... So here, what I'm doing right now is I'm basically dumping... right now, I'm going through the process of dumping everything into the chest. And I'm a hoarder when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I try and have one of everything. But I don't need more than one of everything, in most cases. Because I'm going to sell a bunch of stuff. And I can spam sell without having to worry about... I'm going to spam sell all of my gear, or I'm going to spam sell a bunch of stuff to lower my inventory, so that it's easier to trade through. Yeah, I mean that's basically the short answer. See how these are both plus 10? I was experimenting. It's an awful sword, by the way. Look at how many of these I have. I even have multiple Swords of Darkness. How sad is that? Sort of light, sort of darkness. Anyway. So, by doing this, the problem is there's no buying anything back. Right? There's a plus 10. You can't buy anything back. Troll. Moonrith Hills. Alright, so this is something actually important to pay attention to. When you do something like what I've just done... Hold on. I want to keep... I think these are the ones where having two of them actually gives you a moveset. Whoops. Look at all these Stormhawk axes. It's because you can get two from her. If no limit that I know of except for the per item limit. So there are cases where you can only have one, or you can have like one in inventory and one in storage. But other than that, there's no specific limit that I'm aware of. Death Knight Twin Axes, Stormhawk. I'm going to leave two of those. Rotten Staff. Oh. Went too fast. One's spiked, one's not. You can barely see the difference. And these look identical. It's because they are. They're both Pada. Alright, so now we go back through and we make sure that there's nothing that's plus 10. I tried to make sure there will be a couple of items that are plus something. There's the plus 8s. That's okay. Okay. Now, Ashes of War. Find the one that's on there. We undo it. Find the one that's on there. Oops. Hold on. Find the one that's on there and undo it. So now I get those Ashes of War. And I just want to make sure there's no other... Here we go. Find the one that's actually on there and undo it. There. It'll bitch at me if I try and sell those. Okay. So now...
Now.
I always freak out when I sell something like this. Or like this, right? We have two of those. So the reason is that the reason that I did what I did is because by completely removing everything from my inventory, I can't accidentally sell something I actually care about. It'd be nice if you had the ability to select all and then sell all. That would be even better. Or sell duplicates, or, you know, that kind of stuff. And honestly, I've just started picking up crap that stuff drops because I just don't want duplicates of stuff. All I really care about the runes, and the amount of these runes isn't even worth it. I don't need 200 runes, right? I've gotten maybe 30,000 so far from what I've sold. It's just not much. Now, weapons is the worst. That's the one where I have 6 of some of the weapons. This will be much better. All right, shields. This is one where I really wish you could just click a button and sell. Yeah, it's why I try and go through here basically every now and then. I've even altered everything that's alterable. Egon. See? Altered. Can't even count how many playthroughs I've gone through. It is. There's Altered. Oh, wait. Can barely tell the difference. I'm doing this mostly visually. Gold mask rags. It's so funny. Oh, hold on. Again, can't even tell that versus that. It's got the cape removed. Icer coat. That's such a weird place. Haligtree. Hold on. Caden. Is altered. It's altered. I think it takes the hood off. Oi. All-knowing altered. It's funny. Wait, these are both altered? What? Hold on. How are these both altered? Prodigious. Ah. Me, and me. Perfumer. Skin Noble. Unspa. Thralliers. Foot Soldier. Highwayman. Holy cow. Shadow Militiaman. Now, these ones you have to be careful. Look at the slight color difference. I generally go by visuals, but you have to be careful. Drake Knight stuff looks cool, but unnecessary. Oh! Oh! There we go. Almost done. Soiled loincloth. Ugh. That's so gross. Drawl ears. Elden Ring is fun. Just got some housekeeping to do. Got them ADHD to feed. Drake Knight. Royal Remains. Alright, duplicates here. I don't need the smaller ones of those. I have two. Been trying to keep the duplicates down to a minimum. Especially for things that don't stack. Now, since I'm going to be selling anyway, may as well make another 1,000, right? So I started off this process with 65,000 runes.
Now.
Because I'm not holding anything that isn't something that I care about, that's why I emptied my inventory completely. I can now basically sell these as quickly as possible. I'd rather just be able to, you know, check and get them all done, but didn't seem to want to let me do that. It's 30,000. Oh, no, I want to grab that Ash of War. I forgot about that. My mistake. Each. It's crazy. What's even more crazy is that when I'm done selling all this stuff, I'll have about 1/10 of a level. 10th. Still not as obnoxious as the big bell. Yeah, be nice if there was a way to do this faster. It's also weird that sometimes this process slows down, sometimes it's faster. I'm absolutely mashing the button fast enough. All right. Hey, Ava. I'm just clearing some inventory, that's all. And now I'm going to rebuild that inventory. So, what do I want? I want my misery cord. And I want my bread and butter, don't give a crap. And I want my... Oh, I did forget one thing. That's okay. Oh, hold on. Oh, never mind. I can live that up with holy. Grand Sacks. And that's it for weapons. For bow, I want that. And I want my lion break bow. Sentry torch. Buckler. Alright. I'm not going to wear that now, but I switch it out sometimes. What I definitely want is this. I definitely want... Where is it? Death Knight. Death Knight. Death Knight. And Death Knight. Alright, talismans. You. You. Lightning. Oh, Alexander's. Couple of those. Alright, arrows. Should have plenty of those. Alright, so, equipment. Oh, I know what I forgot. Oh, here. Let's get dressed. See how easy it is when you only have one or two things in inventory? Lightning. Let's see. I forgot these. Okay, so I'm going to want Golden Order Seal, and I'm going to want Gravellstone. Yep. Alright. Equipment. Golden Order Seal is going to be my highest damage, and that's bonus lightning damage. Alright. Now, where was I going to visit? God, I didn't do any of... Look at this. The whole world is, like, devoid of completion. Isn't that funny? I didn't do any of the Ronnie stuff. Why do it now? Oh. Alright, I got plenty of those. Hold on. Toxic mushrooms. Oh, I still have more to spend. Am I spent? I am spent. Alright, and... let's do it again. And so it begins. Now, let's see if I can't get back into a caster mentality. Oh, I just sold those. Ah, I have crap in my inventory again. Gotta love Elden Ring. So what's the first thing that you did? I got killed by a mob. All right. What if you win? Oh, if you win, you have to jump off the island and die. What if you don't want to? Well, then you're stuck. It's like, what happens if the first thing you do is go down there? I think I've done that. Just gone down there.
Oh. Come to the... Of course, unfortunately, without guide, you are fate. Like me. Are you familiar? You may also... That, it will lead, even if it... Great. To castle, the home.
Godric the Grafted. Oh wait, did I tap this yet? Alright. Whoops. Hey, Suman. I'm good. How are you? Ava, that is the Bolt of Gransax. And I am apparently already sucking. Let's try that again. Oh, sorry. I realized I just turned the microphone on. Sorry about that. That should be better. All right. Man, that didn't even kill him. Are there any quests I want to specifically make sure that I get done this time?
Have you? They sir, but you. I can play turning root to aid you. You need O to the foot. Then it's summon me. Ah, Torrent. Treat him with.
So now it's important that we immediately go back to the church.
This way, tarnished. May I have a word? I am the wit. I'd heard tend upon the talk. Thou art possessed call for. Ah, I was instructed by torrents. 'Tis a summon them, the spirits. Now it is that. Forget. I doubt we. How long will it be for the time?
First. Correction. That's not fair. So I've done various versions of all the quests, and I'd gotten them all done maybe by the third playthrough. Some of the quests have multiple endings, and so you can only do each ending once, unless you do the cheap crap that some people do with, like, loading saved games and all that. There's apparently a way to do that. So it took me, I think, 3 or 4 playthroughs to not screw up the DLC quest lines. The DLC has, in 2 playthroughs, you can do all of the possible item results, although you can't do all the possible endings. Hey, Father of Odin. Yo. Should I start immediately chewing through bosses? Oh, nice. How's that going for you? I got shot. Do you have... 2 questions. Do you have heal from afar? And second question, do you have, Telu, the golem? So, I found on the first few playthroughs, the first one especially, Telu is just an
Everyone
awesome.
only to have that. Did you know? It's quite a.
Out of Telu,
You're heading
he's
to Stormwind.
fantastic.
Enticed. Wow, that. But I don't have. It's scary. I want on nothing.
I mean, let me correct. Telu is
I know.
the
Can
best
you
tank. He's
Poor
good at
thing,
keeping threat.
It'll be glad. It will. Tell them I love. I'm fine again.
He's good at holding threat and peeling it off, but you have to heal him. Telu only has like 10%, 10% of the hit points of the other ones, maybe 20% of the hit points, but he has like 90% damage reduction. So if you get Golden Vow on him, if you get him with Golden Vow, yeah, Golden Vow and Heal from Afar, you can keep him alive forever. Oh, if you're doing a run where you're just trying to see that the mob that you're, if you're doing the healing, the one where the summon's doing everything, I no clue. I forgot that that's the thing that you're doing. Yeah, summons only, boy. Have you tried Omen Killer? Or even Finlay? My experience, though, has been, yeah. My experience has been that for the um, the DLC ones tend to be easier to survive, but there's so many hit points. Healing them is really hard. Yeah, unfortunately. Um, Yolan and Anna, maybe? I don't know. I find this guy to be terrible. Black Knight Commander Andreas. I think he's a terrible summon. Um, how about who? Yeah, you could try this one. I just did, I know the thing says +8, but I'm in +9 now. Hold on. Alright, Slick.
Well, thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished. I shall remember thee.
Okay, hold on. Let's be so, Father. Let's be fair. Your meter right now is specifically who's good for what when they're the only one doing anything, which means that the super fragile summons are useless. Um, so, um, Amand, the what you got to realize is he's doing a summon only. The summon does all the work, and so the summon actually is the tank. And if the summon you bring in can't tank, they get killed too fast, and you just can't keep them alive. And the that's the first thing. Um, yeah, Big Mouth has some pretty interesting possibilities. Great against Millennia, even in late stages, because she's. But you have to be able to tank. So if a mob can tank but can't do any damage, the fight takes too long. So Teilu's an example of that, where sure, 10 minutes later the fight's still going on and you're still dumping mana into Teilu. So I would think Dung Eater would be the best choice, Father Voden. Yeah, War Dead Catacombs. Oh, that place is rough. Yeah. Um, War Dead Catacombs boss is a ulcerated tree spirit, right? Oh man, that sucks. Well, all right.
Forgive
In
me.
that case, Dung
I've
Eater
been
probably would have been your best choice.
testing
What
you
about
to see whether or not grace truly does guide you.
do you have
And whether you it seems torrent, whereas I
what's
know
it
there is,
called?
but I can take gathering. Very well. Let my hand.
Off to round table hold. Do you have uh Nephili, Lou? Okay.
Oh, that can't very well. It is sick. Allow you, a house guest. Remember your... There's not...
Nephili's the only other one that I could think of, but again.
You're in you, no matter.
Oh.
Lay out your arms. I see nothing special on shrapnel. Well, no crap. My being. Besides, despite my decides, it holds me for. Back already, no matter.
Yeah, those puppets are really good. Let's see. Boy, Melania. Got some tough bosses left.
You there? Come over here. It's tightly guarded. The guards you breached. Fair enough. Well, but of course. The gates! Open the gates!
Just out of range. Not that time. You know what? I should have gotten the axes. This is a terrible weapon. It really is. Jeez. How many barrels am I going to hit? There we go. What I love about Bolt of Gransax is its range. Is obscene. That's what's really great about it. Maybe the stairs. Yep. Oh. Oh, so here. Inventory. Do. I'm gonna do one more. The little laughing. Nope. I'm dodging. Come on. Horse poop. I'm so terrible at parry, by the way. Oh, nope, don't want that. Have it already. Guard counter. Really? Oh, we hit the pole. Damn it. Alright, this actually amuses me. One drawback to tying explosives to your feet is sometimes they blow up. Got one more back here. Ah, more crap I don't need. I hate these guys. Really? All right. Uh-oh. What do you think? One shot? Yep. Oi. I did it again. Shoes. Have I even looked for the Elden Ring yet? Not sure I fully understand that question. Oh, what's up with that? Oh, I'm like level 404. That's a summon from the DLC. There we go. Sorry. So, if you think of the black tower in the map, there's like a circle around it. It's not really a circle. It's going to be a weird shape, but it's kind of like a circle. The front, you have to practically walk into the front, but if you go to the side door, it triggers really early. If you get too close, it triggers the rune break, and when the rune break, the veil is lifted off the eyes of all the NPCs, and if you haven't pursued the if you haven't actually pursued the what am I trying to say? If you haven't pursued the NPCs enough, it will mess up all those quests. And unfortunately, there's no fixing that. If you just hadn't talked to any of the NPCs, then you've missed some opportunities. What you really want to do, the one that you really don't want to mess up, is you want to make sure to find Thrallier, and you want to make sure to find more. And you want to make sure that you talk to Thrallier, you exhaust Thrallier's conversation, go to Moore, exhaust Moore's conversation, camp, exhaust Moore's conversation again, just to make sure, until you can say something about Thrallier and he gives you black syrup. Once he gives you the black syrup, you're done with Moore. At least for the Thrallier quest line. Then you want to go back to Thrallier and talk to him and give him the syrup, and then tell him that you grow weary of this life, and he gives you a poison. He will have it in his inventory for 30,000 runes, so you can buy more, but you want that poison. That poison is what allows you to get the summon I was just using, this one, Ancient Dragon of Florisax, which is a really good summon, actually. Tougher than most of the ones from the base game, weirdly, because it's a straight caster. If you miss the opportunity to get that poison, you also miss the quest line that lets you get this, well, the action that lets you get this, this summonable. It's surprisingly robust, given that it's a caster type. There are hints in the messages that you're told, and if you look at the description of the black syrup, I think I have it. For some reason, it lets you keep it through playthrough. So even if you're not going to do the Florisax one, no, I probably have to look in this Thrallier's concoction. So you turn the black syrup in, and then you should be able to get this Thrallier's concoction. You also can't do all possible item rewards on the same playthrough. You have to spend at least 2 doing it. If you've advanced the individuals at least a little bit, you can probably still get through their quest lines. I would read a guide. There are too many points where it's just like, oh, and this messes up this quest with no indication. You're given no warning that approaching the tower will screw up your quest lines. If you really want, hold on, let me find it. Oh, you're welcome. So if you really, really want, this one, Retaliatory Cross Tree, you have to support Freya or Letta. I think it's Freya. You have to support Freya all the way to the end, and you have to basically kill Horneater, and you have to kill Unspa, or help her do that. That's what will get you this item, but then you won't have either one of them. You won't have Horn Scent for some possible help locations, and you won't have Unspa for Consort Radon. You may not want Consort Radon, or you may not want him to help on Consort Radon because it makes it a tougher fight, but that's up to you. This item you'll get earlier, but this one requires that you play through her quest line to the end. For what it's worth. Alright, man, I just messed that whole thing up. I love it when the ground's wet. That's what I meant to do. Which one? The one the one with all the things, or that one that I just did, or both? It's just it's an incantation. Hold on a sec. I hate these birds. Ah, come on. Ah, hell. Hold on. There we go. Let's see. That incantation it's from the DLC. And it requires 36 faith. Yeah, that's the base game version. There's a base game and there's a DLC. This is one of the best spells from the DLC. You probably have Lightning Spear, which is also a great spell, by the way. 36 faith, yep.
Be proud. Well, tarnished, I am Nefel. I'm here by decree. How utter this grafting is tainted them. If you, I ask you, the winds run. I'm certain.
All right, so this is funny. Wait, what about you, Runes, my guy? I'm not sure I understand your question. Or is that a statement? Um, I... Uh, let me go look. Oh, stupid Twitch. Rats. I'm not sure why that would happen. Let's do this. This is going to get really weird. I'm not sure why. I'm not even getting that far, weirdly. This is labeled content? Oh, maybe it's because... Ah! What authenticator app? I'm not getting blink screen now. And look at that. I told you it was going to get weird. There's no sound. At least on my screen. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Wait, hold on. Roop, roop. That's really funny. I'm amused. All right, closing that. All right. Useful tip. Oh, you know what I need to do? I'll tell you exactly what I need to do. I need to summon Nephili on this one. All right, so I've seen many streamers make this mistake, even ones that have been, I would think, are high level and everything. Wait until the thing that you summon is on the screen. Then, when you go to do things like buff, it'll buff them too. Little helpful tidbit. How hard does it hit? Pretty damn hard. Ow! Oh no. No, it locked me out, damn it.
I am the Lord of all that is golden. And one day, we'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
I'm not sure why. Unless you have content restrictions, maybe? Then I wouldn't think it would do it at all. That's weird. Yeah, that's... So I'm trying to think if there's... a reason for that. Huh. I mean, if you're getting the audio, I'm streaming to Twitch. And when I put it on my screen, it showed me the video that I was feeding. So Twitch is getting my video, right? You saw the stroke-inducing stuff, right? So I can't imagine... I was pulling the feed from Twitch. So I don't know why Twitch is not updating the video. That's really weird. Yeah, Twitch is getting it. Unfortunately, I don't really have any good advice, I guess. Yeah, Streamlabs. But again, it must be sending the stream, or you wouldn't see the thumbnail, or hear the audio. So I'm not really sure, like, where... I don't really have any advice. I don't want to go that way. I'm not really sure where to go with that, because again, it's in order for you to be getting the update. That could be, although it's not 4K, it's 3K. Don't get me started on that whole sack of nomenclature bullpucky. Oi! Aw, come on. Ugh. I just can't imagine. It should be set to 3K, I think they call it, even though that's a misnomer. So for those that don't know, the high-tech industry, in order to make numbers seem bigger, will lie to you about what things actually mean. So when you think of what 1080p means, or 1080i, in case anyone's ever wondered, the I versus P means interlaced versus progressive scan. And the difference goes back to television from way back in the days when they were big tubes. In order for a TV to keep up with the signal that was being spent, by the way, this is related to why the frame rate is 29.98 instead of 30, if you've ever seen that distinction. This all goes back to television. And why Europe was 24.98. Anyway. Interesting things nobody ever wanted to know. Back in the day, back in the way, way, way old days, televisions used what was called a cathode ray tube. The big TVs that were heavy with a glass screen and all that, they used what was called a cathode ray tube. It had a gun, what they called an electron gun on the back. And then they had the screen, which was actually part of a sphere that they cut out to make a window, because it had to operate like a sphere. I could explain that, but it's not a big deal. Anyway, the cathode ray tube would shoot electrons across the screen like this, and this material, which back in black and white days was made of pure phosphorus, would then excite, and that little spot would light up, and then it would shoot or not shoot and be more or less power based upon where, as it would shoot, go like this, and each time it would go back, go shooting like this. That would then lighten the screen, and then it would shoot it again, and shoot it again, and shoot it again. And each time it did that, a frame would appear on the glass that you would see. I'm simplifying it, but that's basically how a CRT would work. When they added color, you had 3 different little things instead of just a coating of phosphorus. One for each color would shoot, and then it would shoot actually 3 beams, one for each color, and that would create a color image. Now, that explains kind of how they worked. So why 29.98 instead of 30? That again was a really simple thing. The tube would use a cycle rate based upon the power coming out of your wall socket, which was 110 or 120 now, 110 at 60 hertz. That's 60 cycles per second. So that would sound like, oh, that must mean that it would be 60 frames a second. No. The problem is it would get all the way down to the bottom, and now it's got to come back and then shoot the next one and then come back and shoot the next one, right? Well, that's another cycle. So it would take one cycle to do that. But the problem was, back in the old days, they weren't even fast enough for that. If you go back even into the 80s, what would happen was it would draw line 1, line 3, line 5, line 7, 9, 11, 13, all the way down, and then it would go to the top and it would draw 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, back and then up and down, or down and down and down. So you get every other one. And then that was called interlaced, where it would do the odd lines, then the even lines, then the odd lines, and the even lines. Go back, watch an old movie from like the 70s or 80s that wasn't remastered in digital format. And if you watch even a videotape that you took as a kid, watch the frame. Let's see if I can do this with my fingers, where the frame should look like this, but it would actually look more like this. We have these jaggies sticking out like this. That's because it was drawing two frames that were slightly different, and the edges wouldn't match up anymore. And it was in the horizontal way because it was drawing across like this. Hold on. Here we go. Like this. Anyway, so that's progressive versus interlaced. So 1080p, what does that stand for? It was 1024 wide. There we go. 1024 by 768. Right? That's where the 1080p would come from. Well, if you double that, right, you would get 1024 here, right, by 768. There was what was another one? There was 720, etc., etc. Well, when they hold on. Yeah. So when they started calling things 4K and 2K, they actually switched how those were being measured to make you think that 4K was 4,000 across, when really, if you took 1024 by 768, you'd have one here in this quadrant. Here we go. There, and then one there, and then one there, and then one there. Anyway. 1440p is what I'm sending. That's 3K is 1440p. So when you hear a 3K monitor, they mean 1440p. That's the lie. Is that the 1020 the 4096 and the 2048 that they use is not the correct direction. Anyway, so I am sending 1440p 60. I don't know why it wouldn't be. That's so weird. Anyhow, more than anyone ever wanted to know. All right, so nah. I don't know. And again, that's a thing for Twitch to answer. But yeah, that's weird. Ah, rats. Wanted to jump on that stuff. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? What was that? Wait, why didn't he pop up? Where'd he go? Oh, you bastard. Oh, there he is. Ha ha. All right. Ballista number 1. Oh, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. I may be out of range for that one. But we'll try. Ballista number 2. Ah! Alright, that takes care of all of those guys. Because they're irritating. What's this? What was it? Festering bloody finger. I've actually maxed out on those? That's crazy. Oh, I see where I am. This is interesting. I will take full advantage of this location. Or not. Odin would be so proud. Just call me Thor. Ah, tree. Let's get us some Dung Eater. I don't think it's making. Nope. This might. Boom. Well, that stinks. Sorry about that. I wonder if I can, Oh. Oh! Smithing Stone 1. Somber 1. That's crazy. Yeah, I could probably reduce the amount that the data that I stream, the size of the stream, I guess. All right, so now is the time for me to amuse myself, unapologetically, by the way. Watch this archer. Ha ha! I love these. Ah, okay, so good question. If you watch the health bar of a creature that gets hit by Black Blade, the top of the health bar will get a little block in it. Oh, let's do that side. We'll get a little block in it. That block is a part of the health that cannot be regenerated. Yeah, it goes kind of gray. Yeah. That part cannot be regenerated until it wears off. Apparently, sometimes it'll cause a reheal. I had never encountered that before personally, but... That's what I wanted. By the way, the amusement is purely... There we go. Oi! Ha ha ha. Oi, 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 oi. All right. Ah, wrong one. How is this guy still alive? There we go. All right. Yes, it makes it a temporary maximum health reduction. So the best moment to use the attack is an opener, because it will reduce their health by like 10%. Just straight up. Here, I'll use it here. So watch his health bar. Oh, wait, not yet. So see that little gray bar? And then it also does a damage over time effect. So see that counting up? Sorry, I just like turned on the microphone. Gotta love pest threads. That's a seriously wicked spell. Did you know you can use it twice? There's actually a primary and a secondary. There's two versions of that spell. So, hold on, I got two facts I just punched out. So, what I'm using is Pest Thread Spears. That's from the DLC. You can also get Pest Threads, which is from original game, which is also good, but this one has a longer range and does more damage. But again, DLC. I don't know if you've messed with Black Blade, but if you click it, if you just keep clicking it, so you get two attacks that are kind of simultaneous, you actually have two different ways that the attack works. Let me show you. Let me get here. Get camped out and back. Yeah, Black Blade has a pretty high level requirement. All right, so watch. Let me grab this real quick. All right, so watch. If I do just, here we go. The primary attack, it does this like spin overhand like this, right? It goes like, wait, hey, wait, you get the idea, right? But, and then if I click it once, it does that. Now watch what happens if I click it twice. 1, 2. See, the second attack was this way. So you can actually do, if you just do one attack and then the second attack right after, it actually does a secondary version where it does more of a horizontal twist. So just something useful. All right, let's see. Back to Godric the Grafted. Yeah, I'm a spammer, which is much to my demise on many bosses. I just tend to spam the hell out of the buttons.
What happened? Oh, he got what tell you though. He
Anything I care about? Yeah, these. Can always use more rune fragments. Always use more of these. This is something I once got. How far did I get? I got pretty damn far into. Oh yeah, it's Great versus Fire Giant. I got really far, and I forgot to activate a Great Rune. It was pretty funny. I wonder if I should do the Shabriri quest line. You know, you can also roll off an edge. There's the grape. Do you know what those are? I'm not going to spoil it. Do the quest line, it'll teach you. It'll learn you. Now, is she here? She's still not here. I don't want to deal with nighttime. You don't have... I didn't mean to do that. You don't have to Google all the quests. She's still not here. But there are some things that require questing. If you want Dung Eater Pet, you have to quest. If you want to do the... if you want to have the gear that's intended for the Frenzied Flame ending, you gotta quest. If you want...
You then believe it or for a... Well,
There.
you're a true... My name, presuming you're only...
Thops. So this guy is actually questy.
Apology. I'm afraid... Oh, right. I can tell you, you've seen that. That's the... Only it's done after they declare the academy, as you might have guessed, making entry and so on. When they come...
Yes, but if you don't do the quest
Back to
line...
the
Oh, hold
of
on.
course. Why not? Without one, and you'll never... And if
If you don't do the quest line, you
even
can't
come- I
get
know it, but
the Frenzied Flame incantation seal. There's a seal that makes... yeah, that all entering the door naked, all that does is allow you to use the Frenzied Flame to ignite the crucible to burn the tree. And then it gives you the Frenzied Flame ending unless you undo the crucible thing. Or you undo the Frenzied Flame mark, which is possible through a different quest. But if you don't do the Shabriri Grape quest, you won't get the item. I'll show you. You won't get the item that actually makes Frenzied Flame spells more powerful. So, you'll notice that I have a Gravelstone offhand. Enter chest. So, if you go to... If you do the quest line, you get the Frenzied Flame seal. Which doesn't have great incantation scaling. It's good, but it's not great. Notice it uses all of your stats. So it can be pretty good, depending on what your build is. But it boosts Frenzied Flame incantations. Now, the reason that matters is because you can use it offhand and then use a different one to cast main hand. And you still get that boost. That's true for all spells, incantations, or sorcery. So the reason, for example, that I'm using... Notice the Gravelstone seal has an incant scaling of 318. Where is it? Up. There. Right, it says 318 on incantation scaling. This one has 391. So this is better for casting spells generally. However, by having this offhand, well, it gives me, where is it? Right here. This boosts Dragon Cult incantations. That's the lightning spells that I'm using. But what you really want, whoops, is this. Did everybody see what I did? Hold on. healing spells damage those creatures. Whoops. Uh-oh. Cast, damn it. Here we go. Sorry, I love killing those with healing. I think Ancient Dragon Cult. All lightning is Ancient Dragon Cult. It may not be all of them, but it's most of them. That's why I'm wearing this armor, by the way. If you look at the armor that I'm wearing... Ah, that was dumb. Sorry, I meant to do this. Inventory... Enhances skills and incantations that capitals Ancient Dragon Cult. God, I love that spell. And if you didn't know... Where was it? There it is. Somebody died in here. Have one. What? Give me the other one. There it is. Trina's Lily. Oh, what are these? Ghost Gloveworts? Great Violet. The DLC, they did an amazing job. Sorry, I just saw the questions. They definitely added some stuff that needed to be added. There was definitely some missing content. I think they could have done more with armor that had enhancements on it that didn't... wasn't pure trade-off. Yeah, I don't know why it's behaving like that. Ah. Hey, Slim. Aw, come on. Alright, I want to go here. There we go. Follow this edge. If Twitch is returning the error 1000, you might be able to look that one up. I'm not sure what a Twitch error 1000 is. It could be browser not supported or whatever. I can try that. I will have to change my stream settings. Hey, Smarg. Did you see that health bar? Alright, that was fun. That was the key. I can't switch streams. I can't switch midstream. I'd have to end and restart and then figure out what that actually means. That's the map that tells me where this is. I do. Absolutely. Wouldn't you? In fact, this part right here is going to absolutely mandate that I make at least a couple changes or additions. So we're going to have some fun here for a minute. We are going to add that spell. We're going to change to that hat. We're going to change to... Actually, we're going to change this. Ah! I'm missing Holy. Hold on. Holy. That should be good for now. This will be good enough. May not thread that needle. Nope. This spell that I'm using is not remote heal. So remote heal is this one. Heal from afar. No, I was using Light of Miquella. This is what you get, basically, when you kill the last boss in the DLC. So the reason I'm using it is because it has a huge area that it hits. What I want is to spawn all of these guys. Yeah, that didn't reach the dog. That's okay. That did. Crap. That got him. This is why I use this spell. This is a farming clearing spell. There's not really any reason for me to go after some of this stuff. That guy will cause me trouble later. These guys I'm just... Yeah, this is the spell that Consort Radon uses. Ah! Bastard. This really is, in my opinion, a terrible spell. Or a terrible weapon, except for that range. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate, for sure. There's not really any arguing with that. The difference, though, is that the spell from the sword... Oh! Ooh! The difference is that what you get from the sword itself... Yeah, that's not a bad choice. The sword requires even ground between you and where you're going with it, versus this, which just centers on whatever your target is. And then it does the two effects together. So it does the huge explosion and then the rain of stuff down. It's not perfect, but it's good. There's a reason I have that sword in my inventory. So that got that guy, but not the other one. No. It's very dependent on use. The sword will take out 100 mobs. This one will only take out a few, as long as they're clustered. It's the fact that the sword may or may not be able to do what that one just did. And then when you have mobs like the jar here, the explosion and then the rain is a little extra. Waiting for him to come around the corner. And shatter. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this guy or not. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, that one's stuck on the steps, unfortunately. So the sword in this case may actually go up and over and hit that guy. It just will not target that guy. It's funny. Yeah, so this is where this spell breaks down. But sometimes it'll do that. Alright. Hold on. So this is the heal from afar spell. So I'll cast it. Yep. Anyway. Alright. Let's do this. Gonna do this. Now the catch here is I'll never hit that guy with a spell. I might hit him with this one. Come on, Dung Eater. Ow, Dung Eater. Specialize, I'm not so sure. I'm not sure what you mean by specialize. I mean, I play other games. I tend to have a more narrow set of games and then play them fully. So, um, Baldur's Gate 3 was awesome. Cyberpunk 2077 was awesome. This one, EverQuest, World of Warcraft. Um, there are others. But of the games that have come out recently, I've been mostly disappointed. I mean, I came back to play Elden Ring. I played Elden Ring when it first came out. And then I saw people streaming and said, well, that's a fun game. I'll go back and play it. I had been playing PUBG again, which I'm not actually a huge fan of that one. But it can be fun with the right people. But it can also be very frustrating because of some aspects within the game. It is a gorgeous game for sure. And that, kids, is how you beat that guy. Uh, yes, because I'm going to make a change to this. And I'm going to make another change. No, I'm not. Don't need you. Don't need you. There we go. All right, let's do this. Whoops. Oh, I don't know, 1,000 hours. It's crazy. I have... In this character has about 450. No! Oh, no! That was crazy. Oh, I screwed that up so badly. I have my damage. I take a lot of damage. Oh, that's so frustrating. She did one-shot me. It's because I have this and no real defensive stuff. The Lightning Scorpion definitely, actually, I could change. Hold on. I can make a change that'll help. I can't believe she one-shotted me. I should have had that. I had her in like 2 shots. I got greedy. Alright, this really should be this. She doesn't do any physical damage. Yes, yes. I will explain why, in case you're curious. So, the seal that you use to cast a spell, right? The seal that you use to cast a spell is the one that determines, where is it? Is the one that determines your scaling. So, whatever else you have on you has no effect on scaling unless it specifically does that. Like this guy up here, the increased lightning damage, increase, etc. Those ones have the effect of making scaling work better. But they don't actually incant scaling. They don't actually increase scaling. If you had sorcery, this would be sorcery scaling up there instead. So that's where incant scaling. However, this one in particular, here, boosts fundamentalist incantation. So any fundamentalist that I cast will also get 10%, 15%. I don't know what this item is, maybe it's 8%. Will give me an increase in what they do. Sometimes that just means they heal for more. Sometimes it means they do more damage. Depends on... And fundamentalist is not a very interesting one anyway. That's this guy right here, right? But Gravelstone specifically boosts Dragon Cult incantations. That passive effect works offhand also. The incant scaling, which is up there, right? Can't see it because my little box ain't big enough, but the incant scaling, which is up there, that... Let me see if I can... come on. Come on. Oh, that works. Incant scaling, this one here. That's ignored. It doesn't matter because I'm not using it to cast the spell. However, because I have this offhand, I do get the boost to Dragon Cult incantations. So the lightning spells get a boost in damage because I'm holding it offhand. I hope that explains the reason. It works exactly the same if you have 2 staves, right? If you have a staff offhand, if you're using Rock Sling, for example, which is a gravity spell, having your meteorite staff offhand helps the damage with whatever the main hand does. So I hope that helps. The scaling offhand is ignored. Doesn't matter unless you cast using your offhand. Then it uses that incant scaling. Okay, cool. All right, let's see if I can't not screw this up again. And I am actually going to make another change. I'm going to change from this guy to these 2. Because they cause such wonderful havoc. Let's see. Aw, come on. I don't know why it freezes up like this. I've seen it on other people's streams too, so I know it's not just me. is... There it is. Damn it. Nope. Ah!
Come, sweetings. Time to be born anew.
Where the heck? I'm at a loss. I don't see where they are.
Come, sweetings. Time to be born anew.
Am I, like, missing something? Uh-oh. Nope. Okay, the problem with it taking this long is that she has another power that most people don't dare. Jesus. Why?
Come, sweetings.
Where is the next glowy one? There it is. Uh-oh, I'm dead. Okay, there we are. That would be a TikTok thing. I'm providing a plenty big stream.
Come, oh sworn dragon.
Okay, that ticks me off. Drink. Come on. It's not targeting her is the problem.
Oh, little Rani.
Man, that was an ugly playthrough.
Leave thy night into
That was an
peace.
ugly one. Should have killed it on the first try. So I ended up spending the thank you. I ended up using my flask really early, my physic, thinking that I was going to kill her in one shot, and I did not.
Where did ye flee, my sweetings? Come out from whence ye hide. There are books and light aplenty, dither not. Come out, say I, or will ye be gravestones, to be better born anew?
One moment. All right, where was I?
Where did ye flee, my sweetings?
Just got to keep
Come
saying the same
out
thing over and
from
over again.
whence ye hide.
All right,
There are books and light.
there are books aplenty. I wonder if TikTok is downsampling, because that'll definitely mess up the quality of video. Sometimes I forget that there's a thing right here. I've gone whole playthroughs never having picked this one up. I just immediately mount up and start riding. Oh, hold on. Back to that. And back to that. And the rest can stay. All right, here's the big question. Do I want to get the... The two parts of the lift. Part 1 is here. Part 2 is here. It's a lot of writing. All right. Let's do the lift. I don't want to fight my way through.
You!
You there. Could you help us out, Cully? What? Some you will just thank you. I was pushed and I ended up. Oh, when they and so this is all I hope. Or I couldn't then. Right, I'm.
Ah. Going the wrong way. There are people that kill all the vendors. I don't get that either. Their thinking for the vendors is that they will get the bell bearings and take them to the maidens. That way they only ever go to the maidens to buy anything.
In rescuing the great Kenneth Height, servant to the true order, and celebrate. Well, no. Despite you might have untarnished. I want you to knight. What my fault? Oh, I threaten us. Celebrate. I had to pray. Honestly, God first. Then he and to think. Yeah. What my fault?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why people do that. You know, this may sound strange. Philosophy time, I suppose. But I find it difficult to do despicable or heinous acts in a video game. It's takes a lot of effort for me to do something that I personally consider to be like an improper or inappropriate act. It's just a game. I know it's fake. Don't get me wrong. But the part of me that feels sympathy and empathy works. And okay, Fallout 4. Who's played Fallout 4? It's rhetorical. Don't worry, you don't have to say. But you can say you've played it. But okay, think about Fallout 4. Tell me when you get Dog as your companion and he's walking around with you. Yeah. Tell me when Dung Eater, hold on, right back here. Tell me that when somebody hits Dog, you don't rage. Like when you hear that when he gets hit, people are dying in game, obviously, right? But that's how people should be. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, that's how people should be. They really should have a feeling inside that tugs at them that something being done is bad. Maybe I'm foolish for thinking it, but that's my opinion. One. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. I can fully accept both of those things. It's just... I think that a person who has a moral compass they can choose to turn off, even though the stimulus is something that they should care about, is kind of scary. And, you know, hey, maybe that's the way it is. Whatevs. Interesting. That's just my thinking. So I've done the Dung Eater ending once. The last time I played through, I did Dung Eater's ending. I won't do it again. It's gross and wrong. Thank you for the follow, Ben. That's just my opinion. And that's what it is. It's an opinion. And I know everybody's got... that opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. Blah, blah, blah. But it seems to me that a person who's, you know, an empathetic person, someone who, you know, feels what's going on, etc., it just seems to me that they should care. But this is such a crazy outfit. Alright, back to where I was. Anyhow. Multiplayer games. Single player. I at least can get how the whole it's just a video game, it doesn't matter. I still think it sensitizes or desensitizes. But multiplayer games, there's a person at the other end of that multiplayer game, you know? Damn. Holy cow. Oh, he got me. I know it's coming. Knock that off. So we can at least finish this quest line. This quest line actually has the potential to return some pretty decent stuff. First playthrough, a ancient dragon stone, ancient dragon smithing stone is one of the items you'll get. Yeah. I think finishing... There are 3 quest lines. One's hardly a quest. You basically do it by not killing... Sorry. One of them you get by basically not killing...
Well done. I knew I Go ahead.
What's his name?
What's that look? Well, and even the... Which is why... Just you. Would you like... I see bright... Enter to know. What say you?
Ledge service.
Very well. I knew. I shall hold... I see great
The guy at the
things
gate.
ahead of us.
I forget his name.
I've much...
Alright. So now, back to Fort Hate. Blood Rose. Just curious. Yeah, he's gone. It's interesting.
I saw indeed one must have true. But I have the great, but now, for a true. I must for a true.
Alright, so that one's done. And now I need to go to here. To Fort Faroth. Which is easiest through here. But we're going to kill a big guy, or at least act like we're going to. I'd rather not cheese this fight, but I will if I have to. For that, we're going to use Dung Eater. Good lord. Man. This guy's always been a pain. First things first. Dung Eater. That's what I need. I actually think those are some of the toughest guys in the game. Especially if you're a caster. They just have this insane reach. You know, they can get you from, like, forever away. And these huge flying attacks. Let's kill a dragon. Now, dragons. Dragons are funny things. Ooh, thank you for the follow, Ben. Don't need that. I do want to do this, though. Recharge. All right. Oh, rats. That'll do it. Putrid Avatar. Not even halfway to a level yet. Isn't that crazy? Wait, is there a lift back here? There is. Funny thing is now, Grey Roll's not even worth it. It's kind of crazy, actually. So, what we will do... hold on, gotta make some shifts here. Sort chest. Right, but... Spa... Want to do ash. Yeah, that should... Wait. No. Hold on. I have another shift to make. In fact, I'm going to make a couple of shifts. Oh, you have frost. That'll work. Not what I meant to do, but okay. Trying to do is get frost built up, but I just realized that I'm gonna make sure I have you. And I want to have one of you handy. There, frost is built up. Okay, so now that should be... Nope, poison's not built up yet. I don't get it. It's like poison's not staying? There we go. So that's see how it ticks twice? It goes tick, 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 tick. One's poison, one's rot. What I don't have building up right now is bleed. I don't think I have a bleed weapon to cause that buildup. Yep, no big deal. Look at how much damage that just did. Isn't that gross? Should do it. Such a small amount of runes now. It's kind of crazy. Alright. You should go back to you. You should go back to you. I don't want you at all. So, what I really want from here, I'm about to get. So, I'm not going to finish the whole thing. I don't need any of the other stuff that drops here. I just want this, this item here. So that gets me both halves of the medallion, and then that leads to an interesting little factoid about it, which is to Bellum Church. So I'm just going to ride right up into it. I'm not going to mess around with all the stuff that's in the area. I haven't decided yet if I want to do Crazy Town or not. Instead of lightning, switching over to Frenzy Flame. Of course, I don't need to do the Shibriri grapes. I don't even need to get the Frenzy Flame. I don't think it does anything for you otherwise. What's this? Runark. Always use more of those. If I was, I'd go up that way. But I'm not. I'm coming up this way. So here's something a lot of people don't realize. Let me get this tagged in. Hoist medallion. I'm gonna skip it. And that's this. People don't realize this. I think it's very interesting. Because I use the medallion, these guys are not hostile. Did you know that? Not hostile. So if you get to this spot without using the medallions, or you attack them, then they'll be hostile. But until then, they're not hostile. The other thing I don't really get is this. This is a lore issue. Where is everybody? Like, has the world literally managed to... I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Have they actually managed to utterly wipe themselves out? Look at that. I'll want this later. For those that don't know, the Saluvius quest line eventually tries to get you to come in here. Just ignore everything. There's a ton of Sacramento buds. Don't ignore those, obviously. But what they want you to loot is this at the base of the statue. That amber starlight. So as long as you're coming by, come grab it. And grab a bunch of Sacramento bud. That will not respawn. Oh, thank you, Sykes. Thank you, thank you. I swear I heard one of those little dudes up here somewhere. Ow! He actually managed to hit me. I'm not crazy, am I? I'm hearing this thing. There it is. Oh, it's a blue one. Ah. There is a real one, though. Now I want to go on this side. I think there's actually one here. That's not a red one. Nope, I guess not. Alright. Here come the horsies. I don't care about the horsies. Guys are tough enough without help. And there's two of them. That lone guy right there. guys are so funny. Now, I wonder... Is that it? Oh, man. I'd never done that before. I was just curious what would happen. Now I know. I wonder if I actually now miss the chance to kill Margit. Or, Godfrey, or whatever.
I see thee, tarnished, smoldering with affliction.
Not even worth it. Oh, look at all the sevens. Yahtzee. Tell me somebody gets the reference. Yahtzee! Is there anybody there? Is my stream now done?
Is someone there? A customer? Well.
All right. I'm going to modify my stream. I know there are people watching. I'm going to end the stream, see if I can't change the resolution. Maybe things will work a little better. I'm not sure.